What's up, YouTube? This is Big Mike. This is a response to 78 Sports TV's video. He said he was watching NBA TV earlier today, and he said that they had the audacity, the nerve, the temerity, the unmitigated gall to bring up a topic questioning the panel whether LeBron James was the greatest Laker of all time. See, this is what keeps a lot of you all misinformed. This is why, not talking about the majority of people subscribe to me, but this is why a lot of times when I look at stuff that you guys type, I sometimes, I'm being painfully honest, I sometimes feel a need to almost weep in quiet sorrow at the sheer stupidity that I'm witnessing. Now, I understand sports talk is a business. They have to bring up these talking points to keep shit going, you know what I mean? I understand that. You know, they always have these little buzzwords like the greatest, the best, the strongest, the fastest, the hardest puncher, the hardest hitter, the greatest home run hitter, or the GOAT, the quickest. I get that. But this is just overkill. This is overkill. First of all, historically, since when did LeBron surpass Kareem? I want to figure out when that occurred. I made the mistake this year. It was corrected in the finals. I actually had convinced myself that I should put him ahead of Will Chamberlain. I was quickly corrected in that assumption or presumption of mine. But when did he get to just hop over all these other guys, okay? You know what I mean? LeBron James is tremendous, but I don't understand how he just get to hop over everybody except perhaps Michael Jordan. When did that happen? Because if I'm not mistaken, as recently as like 2012, 2013, a lot of people still were saying he wasn't better than Kobe. And I don't even have Kobe in my top 10. I know some people do. But generally, Kobe's not in people's top 5. So how did he just get to leapfrog all of these other guys? Shaq, Duncan, Oscar Robertson, Hakeem, Bill Russell, Bird, Magic. He just hopped over all these motherfuckers. He just did a Jordan from the free throw line shit, just jumped over all these fucking heads. And now all of a sudden, he landed and he's looking at Jordan in the eyes. I mean, get the fuck out of here, man. But anyway, he's not the greatest Laker, okay? He just announced his jersey number. What jersey number he's wearing? 23, all right? And there's two people in my head who I remember wearing that number for Lakers who are greater than him at the moment as a Laker. Cedric Ceballos, who scored 50 points as a Laker one time, all right? I think it was back in 94-95 season. He's a greater Laker at the moment than LeBron James. Even dusty, old-ass, lost my explosiveness, lost my first step, can't shoot like I used to, Mitch Richmond, languishing on the bench in that 2001-2002 title team. All right? Even that Mitch Richmond technically is a greater Laker than LeBron James because LeBron has not played a fucking game. He hasn't played a preseason game. He hasn't logged one motherfucking minute for the fucking Lakers. And you fucking LeBron fans, you fucking fanboys, you LeBron sexuals, you LeBron maniacs, you motherfuckers get on my fucking nerves. Shut the fuck up with this shit, okay? Sports media, be a little bit more responsible, okay? How the fuck does this guy get the leapfrog over George Mikan? 439 games played for the Minneapolis Lakers. They were Minneapolis at the time. 23.1 points, 13.4 rebounds, 2.8 assists, 5 BAA/NBA championships. First league dynasty. Elgin Baylor, 846 games for the Lakers. 27.4 points per game, 13.5 rebounds per game, 4.3 assists per game. All right. Oh, by the way, George Mikan's career high was 61 points. And he did that back when the shot clock era hadn't even came to commence, when you had to slow down basketball. You know, you had a game once when the score was 19-18. And that included the Lakers, okay? So George Mikan had a 61-point game. That's how dominant he was. They changed the rules for George Mikan. Elgin Baylor, like I said, 846 games, 27.4 points, 13.5 rebounds, 4.3 assists. Retired 9 games to the 71-72 season, the year they ultimately won a title. So he never won a championship, but no one can question this man's dominance. Still holds, after 54 years, no, 56 years, still holds the NBA record for most points in the finals game. 61 points against Bill Russell's Boston Celtics, and one of their better teams in 1962. Jerry West, 932 games for the Lakers, 27 points per game, 5.8 rebounds per game, 6.7 assists per game, won championships during the 71-72 season, when they won 69 games, which at the time was an NBA record. Jerry West holds the record for highest points per game in a playoff series. I believe one series he averaged 46 points per game. All right. Only person to ever win Finals MVP on a losing team. 69, he did it against the Celtics, even though they lost the finals. Wilt Chamberlain, as a Laker, 339 games, 17.7 points per game, 19.2 rebounds per game, 4.3 assists per game, shot 60.5% from the floor, won one NBA championship, all right, with the Lakers, 71-72 season. And a lot of people like to say that Wilt Chamberlain couldn't score anymore when he was with the Lakers, which was bullshit. He could. He just chose to accept the role as a second option and then ultimately a third and even fourth option on the team. He lost interest in scoring and started to pride himself on defense. What he ultimately was trying to say and show with his game was that he could out Bill Russell, which in my opinion, he kind of did. You know? But when he wanted to, he could still score. Such as when he scored, I believe it was 66 points against the Phoenix Suns. Then he went right back to his third or fourth option self. Or he can still score. Matter of fact, you want to talk about greatest acquisition, NBA TV? Well, when Wilt Chamberlain signed with the Los Angeles Lakers, his career averages were 36 points per game, 24.6 rebounds per game, 4.5 assists per game. Okay? Phenomenal. Most dominant NBA player ever. His 30.1 points per game scoring average is only second to Michael Jordan. It's barely by less than a tenth. Only because Wilt decided to become a third and fourth scoring option. If he proceeded to still be a 25, 30 points per game guy, he would have probably finished with a 34-point career scoring average. All right? Abdul-Jabbar, 1,093 games as a Laker. 22.1 points per game, 9.4 rebounds per game, 2.6 assists per game, 2.6 blocks per game, shot 56.7% from the floor, and contributed to 5 NBA titles for the Lakers during the 1980s. Much of this time period, Abdul-Jabbar was logging fewer minutes, and he was on the downside of his career, so his numbers aren't as impressive as they were earlier in his Laker career, and especially his Milwaukee Bucks years. But this is a guy who still was putting up 17 points a game when he was 40. So he still was a dominant player until, in my opinion, like the last 2 years of his career. Okay? Magic Johnson, who I think is the greatest Laker of all time. Okay? 906 games played, 19.5 points per game, 7.2 rebounds per game, 11.2 assists per game, which is the all-time record, 1.9 steals per game, 5 NBA titles during the 1980s, and I believe 3 MVP awards, and also 138 career triple-doubles, second all-time only to the great Oscar Robertson. Shaq, during his career as a Laker, 514 games, 27 points per game, 11.8 rebounds per game, 3.1 assists per game, 2.5 blocks per game. All right, shot 57.6% from the floor, won 3 NBA titles, 3 Finals MVPs, and once scored 61 points on his 28th birthday against the Clippers. Keith Kloss got his ass handed to him that game. And last but not least, Kobe Bean Bryant. 1,003. And look, before I even go into his numbers, this is the guy who, if you, all of you remember Kobe, okay? He's the most recent Laker legend. That statement alone is fucking disrespectful. Just disrespectful to Kobe Bryant, okay? 1,346 games, 25 points per game, 5.2 rebounds per game, 4.7 assists per game, 1.4 steals per game, 5 NBA championships, 2 Finals MVPs, once scored 81 fucking points for the Lakers. Yes, I bitched him on about, okay, who the opponent was, but still, 81 fucking points. 25 career 50-point games, including regular season and postseason as a Laker, second only to Michael Jordan's, third all time, third most 50-point games, 25 50-point games, third all time, third all time, only Wilt Chamberlain with 118 and Jordan with 39 had more. Career-wise. LeBron James as a Laker, press release. Hasn't stepped foot in the stadium yet. I think last time he stepped foot in the stadium was when the Cleveland Cavaliers played the Lakers. Okay. Like I said, hasn't even fucking suited up at Staples Center yet. Remember when Kobe last played at the Staples Center, scored 60 points? Yes, it was a team effort because Kobe wasn't the same guy he once was. They kind of force-fed him the basketball, whereas in his prime he could have just, created his own shots to the point where he could score 60, get off his shot, get into that zone we were so familiar with. But still, LeBron hasn't played one fucking game, man. Now, if you're talking about greatest Cleveland Cavalier, no question, no doubt about it, it's LeBron James. There's no room for discussion. None. All right? Maybe you can make the argument back in 2006, 2007, really 2006. Maybe you can still make the argument it was Brad Daugherty, even though he wasn't the most talented. He definitely wasn't better than LeBron. But maybe you can make the argument back then that it was Brad Daugherty or somebody like that. But Of course it's LeBron. But as a Laker, no. Even as a Miami Heat, LeBron's not the greatest Miami Heat of all time. We know that's Dwayne Wade. So stop with the disrespect, man. Okay? Stop with the disrespect. It's just ridiculous.